If you're fascinated by Viking ingenuity and the survival techniques that allowed them to thrive in some of the harshest climates in Europe, you need to hear this. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe to the Prepper Historian so you don't miss more deep dives into ancient knowledge that can actually help you today. What I'm about to share isn't just history. It's practical, actionable, and something almost no modern woodworker or prepper uses, even though it can dramatically extend the life of your wooden tools, structures, and even firewood. For centuries, Vikings were renowned not just for their raids or longships, but for their ability to make resources last. One of their most guarded secrets was a method of creating rot-proof wood that could endure decades of damp, cold, and constant use. They weren't working with chemical preservatives or modern pressure treatments. Instead, they relied on natural substances that were readily available, inexpensive, and surprisingly effective. This wood dip was a mix of tar, plant oils, and ash, combined in a way that penetrated deeply into the wood fibers, sealing it from moisture, pests, and decay. The process was simple but meticulous, and the results were staggering. A Viking wooden tool, a ship's planking, or even the frame of a home could last far longer than anything unprotected, sometimes surviving for generations. The core of the Viking rot-proof wood dip was pine tar. Pine tar is not a modern invention. It was produced by slowly heating pine wood in the absence of oxygen, a process called destructive distillation. This yielded a thick, black substance rich in phenols, which are naturally antifungal and antibacterial. Vikings would mix this tar with animal fats or linseed oil to create a viscous coating that soaked into the wood rather than just sitting on the surface. In some cases, powdered charcoal or wood ash was added to increase abrasion resistance and further discourage microbial growth. The combination of heat, oil, and tar was essential. Too hot and the tar would burn the wood. Too cool and it would sit on the surface, offering little protection. The Vikings had mastered the correct timing and temperature, knowledge passed down orally and through apprenticeship, which is why so few details were recorded in writing. Understanding this ancient technique is more than just an academic exercise. For modern preppers and historians, there's real value in knowing how to protect wood without relying on synthetic chemicals. Let's say you're building a small cabin, a storage shed, or even simple wooden survival tools. Instead of using commercially treated wood, which can be toxic and degrade over time, you can apply a version of the Viking rot-proof dip. Start by sourcing pine tar, which is still available from specialist suppliers or local farms. Warm it gently, then add an equal part of boiled linseed oil. Stir until fully blended, and if you want extra longevity, add a handful of fine ash to create a slightly abrasive, penetrative mixture. Brush or dip your wooden object in this mixture. Then allow it to dry slowly in a shaded, ventilated area. Over time, you can apply multiple thin coats for deeper penetration, ensuring every fibre is protected. Tools, handles, planks, even garden furniture treated this way can survive wet conditions far better than untreated wood. You know, Vikings didn't just protect structural wood. They actually applied this technique to everyday objects that saw really heavy use. Things like axe handles, sled runners, buckets, and even ship hulls were all treated, often together with smoke curing or sun drying. The key principle here was preparation. The wood had to be dry and free of sap, otherwise the treatment just wouldn't work. Applying the dip to damp wood was, well, almost always ineffective. For preppers, this translates into a crucial survival lesson. Preparation and understanding material properties matter a lot more than just brute force. Knowing the why behind the treatment helps you make informed choices, rather than just blindly copying methods. Another insight from Viking practice is timing. They often treated wood in late summer or early autumn after harvest, but before the wettest months, ensuring the wood absorbed the treatment fully before exposure to rain and snow. Modern enthusiasts can follow the same principle, scheduling their wood preservation tasks in advance of seasonal weather. Even small adjustments, like rotating wood to expose all sides evenly or ensuring prolonged contact with the tar oil mixture, can significantly increase durability. It's also worth noting that Vikings rarely used this method for every piece of wood. They prioritized high-stress or high-value items. For example, the keel of a ship, essential tools and timber used in homes received multiple applications, while secondary or disposable items did not. This shows a practical, resource-conscious mindset that is directly applicable today. Preppers can adopt the same strategy focus efforts on the most critical tools and structures first, ensuring survival assets are preserved for maximum effect. The beauty of the Viking rot-proof wood dip isn't just historical, it's actionable. For anyone interested in survival, historical reenactment, or simply extending the life of wooden gear, this technique bridges the gap between ancient knowledge and modern application. It reminds us that sustainable natural methods often outperform contemporary solutions if applied with care and understanding. By reviving this lost art, we not only honour the ingenuity of the past, but also equip ourselves with tools that are genuinely durable and non-toxic. So, if you want to learn more about the hidden survival techniques of our ancestors and apply them in practical ways today, don't just bookmark this video. Subscribe to The Prepper Historian and share it with fellow enthusiasts. Mastering methods like the Viking rot-proof wood dip keeps history alive, informs smarter prepping, and ensures that the lessons of our forebears continue to protect us centuries later.